Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got another start and sit video for Week 9 of the NFL. We are talking the running back position. Now, of course, all of these start and sit videos that I recommend are going to be full PPR or half PPR. If it's a standard league, hit me up in the comments, and I'd love to help you out. So let's jump right into it. All right, so Week 9 of the NFL is here. We've got some great slate of games coming up. Now, there are 4 teams on a bye. You've got the Jets, the Browns, the Eagles, and the Buccaneers. So those are some players that you're not going to be able to take advantage of this week. And of course, injuries you still got to deal with. So hopefully you guys checked out my waiver wire video. Check out all my other starting videos to help you out as well. Now, these are your obvious starts at the running back position. These guys should be in your lineup no matter matchup, no matter what is going on. These guys are, without a doubt, the best plays to put into this week. Now, the first running back I'm going to recommend this week is going to be Kimani Vidal for the Chargers versus the Titans. Let's give credit to him. Yes, the Chargers are obviously looking for another running back with Hampton out. Then obviously, they've got the situation of trying to possibly bring another person because they don't want to completely rely on Kimani, right? Kimani has done a great job, though. You got to give him credit. He's actually started to turn it around in this offense. Part of it is obviously everything's going on Herbert, right? Herbert's been taking over and has done a pretty good job as far as trying to get wins for this team. They're not as successful as they'd love to be, but with that said, Kimani's done a great job. Right now, he put up a 19-point performance last week. He put up another 100-yard, 22-point performance in Week 6. Did have a struggle in Week 7, but you got to give credit to the Colts. The Colts are a really good defense, and now they get to play the Titans, who have struggled, right? Titans are allowing 28 fantasy points per game and allowing over 119 rushing yards, and they're allowing 5.1 yards on the ground. Great great matchup for Kimani this week. I love this matchup. They should be up big, which allows the Chargers to run the ball, which gives Kimani a chance. I do think he scores in this one. I think he gets a couple receptions, nothing super crazy, but I love this matchup for him. He's a great start. Now, the next running back I'm going to mention is going to be Rhamondre Stevenson versus the Falcons. Now, this is all dependent on his health. All right, now he's been questionable. We'll see how he plays. If he does get to play, he's going against a Falcons team that has struggled a little bit. They're allowing 23 fantasy points per game to the running back, just over 100 yards, but they are allowing almost 5 receptions per game, which is the biggest thing I think Stevenson can take advantage of. And Rhamondre, yes, he has had some struggles, right? He's had some fumbles that have obviously questioned a lot of people of why he's still even getting the opportunities. Where's Travion Henderson? Right now, it looks like the Patriots absolutely believe in Rhamondre Stevenson, but they still want to have kind of a committee, right? They lost Gibson for the year. But Rhamondre Stevenson has had some good games. He's very up and down, right? He's had a 20-point game, a 14-point game, a 16-point game, but then he's had some duds, 5 points, 1 point, 5 points. So it's kind of hard to be completely 100% reliant on him, but he's getting the most opportunities. The Patriots clearly want to give him the opportunity, and I do think this is going to be a game he's going to get at least 3 or 4 receptions, which is going to keep his opportunities up there, and I think he gets you about 12 to 15 points. I don't think he's going to be amazing, but he's a nice RB2 going into Week 9. Now, another running back I really like this week is going to be Chase Brown versus the Bears. Ever since Joe Flacco came aboard, Chase Brown's value has absolutely skyrocketed, and I hope you were able to get him or at least drafted him. I traded for him, which was a great move because I felt like his schedule looked good, and I felt like I really believed in the confidence of Joe Flacco was going to get this offense going. Jake Browning obviously was not able to have that success, but coming out of Week 8, Chase Brown had over 25 points. He had a touchdown on the ground, touchdown in the air. He's not obviously getting as many receptions as you'd like to see. He's got a few here and there, but again, been really, really good. Averaging over 6 yards last week per rush, averaged over 9 yards per rush on Week 7. And he's got a great matchup against the Bears, who have struggled against the running back. They're not allowing a super large amount of points, don't get me wrong, but they're allowing enough that, man, you want to put Chase Brown in there because I do think they're going to take advantage of it. Bears are allowing 111 yards on the ground, 5.2 yards per carry. This is a great opportunity for Chase Brown to have some success. I really like it this week. Again, putting him in your lineup. And the last running back I'm going to mention is going to be Travis Etienne for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Going against the Raiders, who, let's be honest, aren't a great defense, right? They're allowing 22 points to the running back position. Now, they don't allow a lot of rushing yards, so I will give them credit there. They've done a really good job. But where they have had some opportunity where the running backs can have some success is obviously through the air. They're allowing over 4 receptions per game, and they're allowing an average of a touchdown per game on the ground, which is where Etienne can have some success. I do think the Jacksonville Jaguars get the win this week. They have the ability to get ahead. I think they're going to utilize Hunter. I think Brian Thomas will have a better game, which allows Travis Etienne to have some success. Now, right now, he's running back 20 going into this week. He's had some ups and downs. He started off the season really great. He had 18 points, 16 points, 11 points, 19 points. And then the last 3 weeks before their bye, 8 points, 9 points, and 6 points. So they're absolutely struggling in that aspect. But they also started to have a couple losses. They obviously didn't have the wins they would like to have had. They started off, again, really good. But again, I love the matchup this week for Travis Etienne. Now, as far as the running backs I'm going to sit, the first one is going to be Chuba Hubbard versus the Packers. Really good defense, obviously. You got to give credit to the Packers. They're starting to get into their own. Packers are only allowing 16 points per game as a whole to the running back position. They're also only allowing 70 yards on the ground and 3.8 yards per carry. They're having a great stop against the run. Now, I will say this. They do allow quite a bit of receptions because most teams are playing from behind, so running backs are taking advantage of it in that aspect. But with Rico Dowdle still there, I'm not really sure what's going to happen in this backfield. They're turning into like the Seattle Seahawks. They're using both backs, which means Chuba Hubbard's value is definitely diminished ever since he got hurt. Getting hurt definitely did not help because Rico Dowdle had some amazing games. I mean, Rico Dowdle has more fantasy points in the 2 games that he was able to start than Chuba Hubbard has. And I get it. Chuba Hubbard missed some time. Totally understand. But Rico Dowdle had an amazing time during that time out. He was averaging 5.7 yards a carry, where Chuba's only averaging 3.6 yards a carry. So let's be honest, I really don't trust either running back, but Chuba is definitely the one I'm going to sit if I'm going to have to play one. Now, speaking of committees, Jordan Mason's another one I'm going to sit. I'll even put Aaron Jones in that one, but Jordan Mason's the one I think is going to take the biggest hit. Going against the Lions, who actually are a really good defense. Lions have been great against the run. They've always been that way. They've allowed only 65 yards on the ground, only allowing 4 yards per carry. Again, the receptions are where you have some value because, again, most teams are playing from behind, so running backs are taking advantage of that. And maybe that's where Aaron Jones takes a little bit of an edge to Jordan Mason, but either running back I am not going to play this week. I don't trust them. And again, there's a chance JJ McCarthy's back. Maybe they use the running back position just to kind of help JJ kind of ease back into it after being out for some time, but I still don't trust either running back. I'm going to sit both of them, especially Jordan Mason. Now, another running back I'm not going to play this week is going to be Alvin Kamara versus the Rams. Alvin Kamara right now, coming into week 9, is running back 23 in fantasy. He's averaging 10 points a game, which is not great. And you would think his receptions would help him out, but even then, he's not getting a lot like you would like to see. Plus, playing against the Rams defense, which is second best against the run, they're only allowing 80 yards per on the ground. They're allowing about 4 receptions per game, but they also have yet to allow a rushing touchdown. And something that Alvin Kamara has not been great at. Again, I would love to see more, but he's had 1 rushing touchdown all season. He's had 0 in the air. So the value of what normally an Alvin Kamara used to be is just not quite there. I'm going to sit him. And the last running back I'm going to sit is a name that I'm sure pretty much everyone's probably going to play because they drafted him high, is Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty right now is currently running back 17. He's averaging 13 points per game. He's had some ups and downs, right? He's only averaging 4 yards a carry, which is kind of a struggle right now. But going against a Jaguars defense that actually shockingly is pretty good against the run. They're only allowing 70 yards on the ground. They're only allowing an average of 3.7 yards per carry. They have allowed some receptions, don't get me wrong. But the big thing is you got to give Jaguars credit. They have done a really good job stopping the run. Are they going to obviously rely on Ashton Jeanty? Sure, they need to help kind of try to get a win. But right now this week, maybe 10, 12 points, like kind of where his range is, which is about an RB2 at best if you're in a deep league. Right now he's struggling. Maybe put him in the flex, but I'm going to sit Jeanty this week. Now, as far as my sleepers go, I've got DeAndre Swift and I've got Bam Knight. I think both those players have some great matchups, especially Bam Knight going against the Cowboys. Michael Carter got released, but then he got re-signed to the practice squad. So I think Bam Knight is the guy. Trey Benson has not been announced back, which means Bam Knight has an opportunity to have some success. Dallas Cowboys have been struggling against the run. Yeah, they talked about stopping the run, but they're still allowing 110 yards on the ground. They're allowing about a touchdown per game. They're allowing 5 receptions per game as well. So there's some value for Bam Knight to be a nice little sleeper, a flex play. And then DeAndre Swift against the Bengals. Again, we'll see how things play out with DeAndre Swift. But the Bengals have allowed the league worst in 132 rushing yards on the ground, 5 yards per carry, allowing a rushing touchdown per game, and allowing 5 receptions per game. Like, this is the best opportunity for DeAndre Swift to have a turnaround. I think he's got the floor of a high RB2. I think that's where I see him at this week. I love that matchup. So those are my start sits and sleepers for week 9 of the NFL. If you guys have questions for your lineups, hit me up in the comments down below. I'd love to help you out. Of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, check out all the other videos, and I'll check you guys out next time.